standing at Stanford University, one of the top universities in the United States. So when talking about Stanford, people always mention about excellence in academics. That is true. Stanford is not only excellent in general, but it is also well known as law school, medical school, engineering school, and computer science. The general admission is so insane. It is so difficult and competitive to get into Stanford. A 4.0 student doesn't guarantee to get admitted to Stanford University. Going to Stanford, you not only have to be smart, but you have to have money, you have to be rich. Why? Because Stanford is located in Palo Alto, Bay Area. Everything is so expensive around this area, and Stanford is a private school. All the private schools in the United States are expensive to go to. Here you can see a lot of Middle Eastern and Indian students. These students, they are smart and they have money. Indians are smart in computer science. You see most of Indian students in computer science or computer engineering at Stanford University. That's not all about Stanford though. Stanford has a huge and beautiful campus. Let's take a look, guys. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I am driving to Stanford University in Palo Alto, California, and this is the entrance to the university. And you can see palm trees on both sides of the streets. This reminds me of Palm Beach in Florida. Is on the right. And they call this street Palm Drive. And this campus is very big, so you basically have to drive from one destination to the other. You can walk around, but it is very tiring. And the main parking structure for visitors is kind of far away from this area, so you have to walk over if you park in the parking structure. So there are a lot of parking around in this area, in this entrance too, but they are very much like permit parking. So if you don't have permit, you cannot park here unless it is a weekend. And this is the weekend, so that's why we are able to park here. And you can see the main entrance. There are a lot of like nice building right here, and there's a tower there. We're gonna go to that tower later. So you can see a picture of this main entrance on Stanford website too. Okay, we're looking for a parking spot. There are plenty of parking here if you come here in the morning, early morning. But if you come later, it's a little bit hard to find. Okay, we found one right here, under the tree. There's a big lawn in front of school, and it has the oval shape, so people call this area is the oval area. And in the middle, there are some flowers decoration in the middle, and you can see all the cars parked around this area. And there's some sidewalk that people can walk up to the school. So you see right here that there's a circle with the letter S inside. You see the red flowers in the middle. So that stands for Stanford. And if you buy their clothes or their sweaters, so they all have the school logo, which is the S, letter S. So that stands for Stanford. And there's some benches here that people can sit down. A lot of people hang out here when it's sunny. And this is the big and long building that you saw when I drove by earlier. So this is the front of the school. So this main two buildings, like in front, they have psychology department in here and linguistics department in here. The building is so big with long hallways, and you see all the arches. And I think the building is built by stone, like really huge, big stone. And you can see it is facing the lawn, the oval area. Beautiful. Because this is the weekend, so you don't see a lot of people here, but there are still like visitors visiting here, and some new students. They go through orientation, so they normally visit the university during the weekend. And you see that it looks beautiful. And this is the main entrance to the center of the university. You can see the buildings, long hallway on both sides. I love the architecture. I'm really sure that is European architecture for sure. You see the lawn still have grasses on both sides. Because it's still early, so you don't see a lot of people here. And this is the center of the university. They call it the quad. Look at this beautiful church. It was built by Jane Stanford in a memorial of her husband, Leland Stanford. And I think the name Stanford probably came from here, from this family. This church has been remodeled or repaired multiple times due to earthquakes. This is the place where students can go to the church and they don't have to go outside if they don't want to. And this is also the place where weddings take place. And there will be a wedding later today, so then they didn't let me go inside to take a look at the inside. And if you have visited a lot of universities in the United States, you will realize that a lot of them has either a chapel or a church inside of the university. For example, you see LA has one, Stanford has one, University of Washington has one, and Portland State University has one. So a lot of them has either a chapel or a church inside of the university. I looked at the pictures of the inside of this church. It looks beautiful. I hope one day I will be able to get inside to either video or to take pictures. But the outside looks amazing. All of these like mosaics outside. Look at me. I'm trying to do selfie. Now see the wedding. You see Indian wedding. So if you go to this campus like a lot of time, you will realize that there are a lot of Indian people here, especially Indian students and Middle Eastern students. And I think Stanford is very well known for computer science too. So a lot of Indian people or Indian students, they are pretty good in computer science, so then they go to this school. And this is the back of the church, the side and the back of the church. Very beautiful with all of this like stained glass window. It looks pretty big outside too. walking around the campus. There's a fountain here. The water looks so clear though. I like it. Sometimes I see people that swimming over here. I don't know if they're supposed to, but then they do. There's a building over there. Look, you see how clear the water is. Go to the university in the United States, all the buildings are so far away. Yeah, it's so hard to actually go from this building to the other, very tiring. And there is the tower that we saw earlier. So this is the tower. Very tall. 50 or 60 meters tall. Oh, there's a kid right here. The kid wanted to jump into the water, but I think the mom didn't want him to. And this is the university bookstore. It has 3 levels. So we are at the main floor or main level, and there's a top level, and then there's a basement. So in this bookstore you can find all kind of books here, a lot of clothes, from t-shirts to sweaters and to jackets. So there's a lot of stuff here. And football is a big sport at Stanford. So bravo to Stanford Cardinal football. And all of the clothes here have Stanford logo. So different department has a different logo, and they have a different type of jacket. So it just depends. So College of Engineering has a different type of jacket. College School of Medicine has a different jacket, and School of Computer Science has a different jacket. So they have all kind of different jacket for each department at this school. And you can see they have a lot of selection. But the main color for Stanford is the red. Red is the main color. There you go, you see a lot of red there. And I love red. Very impressive, right? And they have a vending machine upstairs, so if you want to buy a snack or a drink, you can go upstairs. So the opposite side of the university bookstore, it is the student association building. They call it clubhouse building. So all the student association clubs, they will meet here, or they can have all kind of event here. This is their building. Looks kind of nice for student association building. Big too. But this is Stanford. They have spaces, they are fancy, so they have a lot of stuff to offer for students. That's why it is so expensive to go to Stanford, but I think it is worth the money. First of all, you're smart. When you go to this school, people automatically know you're smart and you have money to go to this school. It's totally worth it. Like I said, Stanford has a huge campus, so it is difficult to actually walk from one building to the other to your classes. So students actually choose to ride a bike from one place to the other. So you see a lot of bike parked here. outside of computer science building. So this is computer science building, school of computer science or school of computer engineering. So if you are in your major already, for example, if you are in computer science already, then you very much don't have to travel that far. You just stick in this building. But if you are to take general classes, so then you have to commute from one building to the other. Can be really far away. See, this building is very big too. And you can see a lot of Middle Eastern or Indian students here because a lot of them study computer science, so they are all in here. And this is School of Law School. Law school and Stanford and Harvard are pretty famous. They're pretty good in law. And this is how the university systems are set up in the United States. So there's a big university and there are like different small schools in that university. For example, School of Engineering, School of Chemistry, School of Law, School of Medicine, and etc. And I am now standing at Stanford University School of Medicine. So 20 years ago, when I took the MCAT and applied for medical school, the admission criteria for medical school at Stanford at that time was already difficult. 20 years now, and I think that criteria is still very much the same. It's still difficult to get into School of Medicine at Stanford. And they still take only 1% of the candidates, so it is very difficult to get in. And just like School of Engineering or School of Computer Science or School of Law, very much when you are in your major, you're gonna stay in that building very much the whole time. Medical students are the same. Once they are in medical school, they stay in this building and they very much take all their classes in this building, and they go to the university hospital to practice. And Stanford University Hospital is just a few blocks away. And Stanford University Hospital has a new emergency room. Now they have both adult emergency room and a pediatric emergency room. And Stanford University Hospital has the most advanced technologies and they provide the best care over there. And I used to work at Stanford University Hospital in the emergency room a few years ago. Now I moved to a different area and I don't work over there anymore. So at the end of this video, I would like to include a short video about the emergency room where I worked at. So you can have an idea about what the emergency room is. And it looks like they have a health fair here today. Stanford has this kind of fair like a few times a year. It happens like quite often where they have their doctors and their professionals. They will go over here to educate people about diabetes, insulin, cancer, all kind of other health issues that people might have. So it is a very good like health fair. So you can see all of these people are at the fair. Okay, and the next video will be a short video about the emergency room at Stanford and at other hospital. And then after that will be a short video about the rest of the campus tour. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do so, please give me a like and subscribe my channel. Thank you. For those who don't live in the US, or for those who live in the US and you don't know, this is for your information. All medical schools in the US belong to the university. For example, Stanford School of Medicine belongs to Stanford University. UCLA Medical School belongs to UCLA University. Not all universities in the US have School of Medicine. But for those universities that have School of Medicine, they normally have their own hospital. For example, Stanford University has School of Medicine, and then they have Stanford University Hospital. UCLA is the same thing. UCLA has School of Medicine, and they have UCLA Hospital. And there are different types of hospital in the US. There are community hospitals, psychiatric hospital, level 1 trauma center, level 2 trauma center. So what is level 1 trauma center? Level 1 trauma center like Stanford that I used to work at, or UCLA that I used to work at, they're both level 1 trauma center. That means they can take all kinds of traumas from car accident, overdose, burns, gunshot wound. They can take all kinds of traumas that you can think of. So all of those trauma will go to our hospital. And level 2 trauma center is the hospital that I am currently work right now. They can take all the traumas very much, but except for burns. For if we get burns patient, we have to transfer to level 1 trauma center. So level 2 trauma center is not capable of taking care of burns patients. Sometimes you see an accident happen like right in front of the hospital, and some patient got transferred to a different hospital, and the people are wondering why. People will be like, oh, why the emergency room is just right in front of you, but then why are you taking my family to a different hospital? In that case, because if that patient meets criteria for trauma, so then they need to go to the trauma center. Unless they are in life-threatening condition, then they need to stabilize that patient first before they transfer. Then they will bring that trauma patient to the closest hospital to stabilize them, and then they transfer to a different hospital, usually the trauma center. Okay, sometimes you see an accident right in front of the hospital, and some patient got transferred out, and you are wondering why. Some people was like, okay, what happened to that patient? Why the hospital is right in front of us that we have to transfer that patient out? So the answer for that question is, if that patient meets criteria for trauma center, they need to go to a trauma center, unless that patient is in critical condition, life-threatening condition that need to be stabilized. So if that is the case, that patient needs to go to the closest hospital, closest emergency room to be stabilized and then get transferred out. You know, sometimes they need to be intubated, or sometimes it turned out to be a cardiac arrest and they need to revive that patient first before they transfer that patient to a trauma hospital. And the transportation to transfer that patient out is usually helicopter or ambulance. So it just depends on how critical the patient is. And what if a community hospital get a burns patient? What are they gonna do? So they need to stabilize burn patient first, and then they need to transfer that patient out. Usually to level 1 trauma center, because the level 1 trauma center is the only center that actually capable of taking care of burn patients. And where does helicopter park? In the hospital. So at my hospital, helicopter pad is right in front of the emergency room. It is an easy access to the emergency room, so that's where it usually is. But some hospitals like UCLA, because of the space, they don't have the space in front of the emergency room, so the helicopter has to park on top of the emergency room building. So I hope some of this information is helpful. If you consider applying for medical school, engineering school, computer science, arts, or whatever major that you plan to do, I wish you a lot of luck. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, so please consider do.
Okay, this is the last part of this video. I actually recorded a lot, but I didn't want to post all of it because my video will be too long and you will be tired of watching it. I only show you the main parts of the university because I think if you want to visit, I think those are the main spots that you want to see. And if you want to go to Stanford, and those are the main spots that you want to check out and the main departments that you want to check out.
And like I said, this campus is huge. So you actually have to drive by car, drive around in order to see all of it. Yeah, if you walk around, there's just no way that you can walk around this campus. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you like my video, please give me a like and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Okay, this is the last part of this video. I actually recorded a lot, but I didn't post all of it because it's gonna be too long and you will be tired of watching it. And like I said, the campus is huge, so you probably have to drive around to see all of it. And this is a little garden in the center of a building. You can see flowers here, and there are a lot of birds in this area because I muted the sound so you couldn't hear them. And today's weather is just perfect. It is sunny, a little bit overcasting, but it is not hot. It's actually cool, and the temperature, I think, around 70 degrees. It's just a perfect weather to go around the campus. And Stanford is one of the places that tourists come to visit. Besides other places like Half Moon Bay, which I've never been to, I heard it is very beautiful over there. And Hour of Peace Church in Santa Clara, and Apple Company is also in Santa Clara. So if you ever want to visit the campus, I think you can come and check that out.